Hey there, Cancer. It's time for your weekly horoscope for the coming 7 days. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, should you ever wish to get a session with me, you do need to go on ahead to my website. It's called integrativemysticism.com. Or, of course, you may also simply just follow those links down below. And for those of you who like to go deep, the incoming wave video is up, and you can find that on my main channel page by opening up either its playlist or clicking on my avatar beneath this video. So what is going to be occurring this week for you? Well, this week's big theme, the big overlight, is the Magician card upright. And this is a really cool message that's coming through. The creative control, the direction, the pace of all areas of your life is essentially being left in your hands to play with. And that is a big deal with the Magician card, because while it's not necessarily putting us into a place of complete power and authority over others, such as the Emperor, it is giving us freedom of movement and freedom to improvise, to think on our feet. Now, one of the things I'm seeing with this is that this is actually being brought in because certain structures, certain maybe proper channels, or certain orders of operation, or parameters or proprieties that you have been working with, maybe within families, maybe within groups, maybe with work, with money, are not actually serving in the highest interest of all concerned. So the Magician shows up as a gift to you to be able to flow, to be able to even sidestep certain protocols and certain things like that. Of course, staying on the level, right? I'm not saying go out and do anything immoral, unethical, or illegal. Common sense, please, common sense. But with the Magician card upright, there is a lot of leeway and a lot of freedom of movement being offered to you that you're expected to use. Because with the Magician, you are essentially given the freedom to not only trudge and forge ahead, but maybe even overcome or flow around or even erode obstacles that maybe subconsciously or even consciously, out of respect, deference, or reverence to a family structure, a work structure, or some kind of protocol that you've maybe been honoring that's been blocking you. Where are the blocks you have been honoring in your life? We have to really take assessment of that and know when it's time to stop, because those blocks, those controls, those structures will never serve us. So why would we decide that, well, it's policy, it'll work in my favor one day, when it comes to, say, a promotion, a transition, a new job, something like that. Maybe it's time to be a bit more creative, because the Magician is all about giving power to the creative, giving power to those who are able to actually work around the boundaries and limitations set before them. And so this is a week where you're going to have a chance to really test that out. The first such card that we talk about with the mundane concerns, right? We have the 8 of Swords upright. And you are going to be encountering a block you need to know how to overcome, overstep. And this does have to do with either a financial or professional scenario where the person you are engaging with, whether it's the recruiter, the hiring manager, the bank representative, the account holder, whatever is going on here, is not budging. Now, with the 8 of Swords, it does look like very much a message that plays off of the Magician. This is somebody or a situation that will not deviate from the rigid steps or the rigid structures put on around them, yet we need to do this. The 8 of Swords is giving a very strong message that if you want to succeed through this situation, you have to know how to go over this person's head. You have to know how to go around it, or you may have to know how to take matters into your own hands. In fact, with the Magician, we often do see as a character card, this is somebody who takes things into their own hands and succeeds. Now, of course, be smart. Like I said, common sense, nothing immoral, unethical, or illegal here. Always work with the highest interest of all concerned in mind. But when we see this 8 of Swords here, somebody or maybe something set before you in a professional process, a financial process, is not budging because they don't know any better. They are not familiar. They're not creative, or they are simply in a space where maybe the sheer bureaucratic or social element precludes them from thinking of other ways to live. The Eight of Swords is indicating once we can actually get around this person or around this situation, you may discover it this week if this has been something ongoing, or you may actually just simply encounter this and clear it this week. You're going to be finding yourself in a very abundant way. The Eight of Swords is all about paralysis or something coming to a halt simply because of the mentality of a person or a group. And in order to transcend this, you have to make sure you're not giving too much deference or any deference to that which is operating with too many limitations. As we get on to the social community card, friends and family, we've got the Queen of Swords upright, and you've got some backup this week. This is a wonderful, wonderful card to see with the Magician, because the Queen of Swords is helping keep things on the level, but we're also seeing an opportunity for you to partner up with an ally who also knows where to strike when it comes to clearing some kind of pervasive burden, pervasive obstacle that you have already been working on dealing with, working on assessing. With the Queen of Swords, there is this sense of a lack of interest in a gentle touch, however. So keep in mind that if you are trying to do this in a way that could be a bit soft serve, maybe you are being a bit too tender with people that you don't need to be tender with, you're coddling, the Queen of Swords is going to put a stop to that right away. In fact, if you let the Queen of Swords take a problem off your hands, you're going to see something a little bit more intense come flowing out. However, I do feel with the Queen of Swords and the Magician working in your favor, there is going to be a sufficient tag team effort that is going to completely erase maybe some kind of weight, whether it be a financial burden, social burden, professional burden, on your shoulders that you have been suffering to live with. As we get on to your emotions, your relationships, your romantic life, we actually have the Two of Wands upright, and beautiful card because it does look like a lot of you Cancerian people are starting a whole new relationship or getting ready to plant the seeds of a whole new relationship. Now, when I say that, a lot of this is, it's got multiple meanings, because with the Two of Wands, not only is it a whole new commitment, a whole new relationship, but it's completely different than something we've ever done before. It's completely different from something that we've done in the past. It's completely different from models that we've seen other couples, other families, other relationships have. It is something that is deeply personal to us and our partner, so we could be doing something completely new with ourselves, or maybe something new coming from somebody that is a bit more worldly, somebody who is a bit more well-traveled, somebody who is a bit more educated than maybe people you've been with in the past if you're looking for somebody new. The Two of Wands is all about a commitment or a promise that will be kept, and I also see that something is getting launched this week, something is getting started this week with a partner that is really kind of setting up the story of the second half of the year. And it is a commitment that we make that we absolutely will get a chance to fulfill, especially when it comes to major moves we want to make in our relationship. However, that's going to show up for you, because the Two of Wands and the Magician is all about power and authority, but also planting a seed that will successfully be harvested should we carry it through to the end. What I like about the Two of Wands is that this may also be something that we decide to sacrifice or give up, something that we don't need to carry on anymore for. So it's sort of a double blessing here. We are choosing to put ourselves first. We are choosing to go our own way. And this commitment could absolutely step into the realm of, look, we've been planning, we've been wanting to move, let's just do it. We've been wanting to start meeting the family, let's just do it. We've been wanting to start a business together, let's just do it. We've been wanting to take this trip, or at least plan it, right? This is the week where these seeds that will grow are going to be planted, and it does look like everyone is now on the same page. So that's what I've got for you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hey, y'all know I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.